Hi and welcome back to It's a Miracle Beauty. This is my empties for June 2020. It is unbearable in my film room right now. Like, I would be sweating off makeup. So I am going to do a couple videos where it is the viewpoint of the camera down so that I can show you the products, give you some mini reviews, but I don't have to sweat my makeup off. So I'm going to start with hair. I have the least hair of out here. First one I'm going to say is the Love Beauty Planet. This is the color safe one. It is phosphate free. So, or sulfate free, excuse me. So I think this has been nearly in every empty, either the shampoo or conditioner has been in every one of my empty videos. I love this. I recently am trying the same brand, but it's their detox charcoal shampoo. It's a little bit drying. I'm not sure if I'll be able to use it full time, but I do like it. And if you hear me kind of breathless, it's because I have asthma and I'm sitting in a heated, like sun heated room. So the next I have the Caviar Cream by Alterna. This is a moisture replenishing cream. I did receive this either like in an Ipsy or maybe it was like a $3 sample, something like that. Might have even been Birchbox. But this one works fine. It's nothing wrong with it per se, but it's just not something that I'm gonna want to go and purchase for the pricing that it is. It didn't work that good. And then lastly for hair, I do have Batiste dry shampoo. I love this dry shampoo. This is actually my favorite. The only other one that I actually love is Amika, and that one's very expensive. So unless there's a pricing deal or I have a good coupon, I would continue to purchase Batiste. It is available at Ulta on sale all the time, as well as TJ Maxx. So it just makes no sense to actually worry about purchasing the nicer one when I have one that's so affordable. Next, I'm going to do makeup. I actually have very small amount of makeup this month. I have mainly skincare, and I have a ton of skincare this month. So first thing is expired. Why it was in my collection. This is probably down to about there, so maybe a little above halfway. And I didn't pay for this one. I bought it previously and liked it. It was fine. And then a friend gave it to me because she was not able to use it. She didn't like it. And I went to use it the other day for work because obviously behind those masks you sweat. And so I like using matte foundation. And I feel funny putting it only from the eyes up. So I still use a full face, and it was completely separated and expired. It was pretty gross. So, and I even tried to pump just to make sure it wasn't just in the front that it had a problem. The whole thing, it just repetitively was really gross. So that one is being decluttered. One, I have a beauty blender. This is just old and I've used it all, so that one is going. Next, I have one that expired, but I don't think it was my fault. I purchased this right as the pandemic started at TJ Maxx, and I used it. I didn't use it. I swatched it when I got it, and I thought it was fine. Went to use it not too long ago, and it's completely separated and expired, which, as old as this collection is, it doesn't surprise me necessarily, but I'm finding that a lot of the TJ Maxx stuff I buy is either expired or about to expire. So if you have a bigger collection, it's kind of pointless to shop there. Next, I have Wander Beauty Mile High Club. This one is one that became, it was the 3-month expiration. However, I don't love this on my eyes, or my upper eyes. My lower lash line, this is beautiful. It doesn't smudge, it doesn't do anything, but I typically don't use 2 different mascaras. I know some people do. I just think that's just not for me, but it worked great in the lower lash, but it was not good on my upper lash. This one is a sample. It's a Dior Lash Primer, and it was expired and dried out, so I never even got to really use it. It was actually during a video when that happened. Next, I have the e.l.f. Putty Primer, and it's completely dried out, and you can't get anything out of it. There's nothing that comes off on my hand. And I did notice when I bought it, it was kind of cracked, and then around the edge cracked pretty fast. So yeah, I can't even give a review because I really only got to use it once. And the one time I used it, it was nothing really to write home about. I definitely prefer my Paint Pot or some of my other ones instead. However, I would have liked to have used it a few times. The first impression to me doesn't define what the product is doing. I did completely use up my Anastasia Brow Wiz. I actually am almost done with my Benefit Precisely My Brow. I have maybe one more use left in that. So that's been my goal this year. It's like an unofficial pan project that I'm trying to use up all of my brow products that are the oldest first. This one is a declutter. I did receive this Blink Lash Primer in BoxyCharm. I don't know if the formula really is the problem. I think it's the brush. It's very messy. Because it's black, it goes everywhere. I've ruined so many looks with it. So for me, it was just worth it to declutter. 2 primers I have that are samples, but I wanted to comment on them, is the Vitamin Glow by Smashbox. I actually purchased this in full size. I don't need another primer. I need a primer I need a hole in my head. But this was my holy grail for this entire sample. I would not use anything else because it was that good. If you have dry or normal skin, I think this would be very useful. And the other one is the primerizer oil. I think that's what it's called. No, primer oil, photo finish primer oil by Smashbox. This is amazing. I actually purchased the NYX primer oil to see if it's a dupe, and it is a dupe, but it's just not the same. This one just lasts and moisturizes longer, and then but it also doesn't pill when it hits your moisturizer. Sometimes the NYX one can pill. It reacts only with certain ones. If I use the same one every day, I'm usually okay because I have one I know it doesn't pill with. But this one, I never had any pilling with any of my moisturizers, so that's one I have on my list I probably will purchase. Another expired one, I actually got in BoxyCharm, and it was already expired when I got it. I did talk about this in my BoxyCharm video, but I did not realize I had not decluttered it yet. So this is the Juice Beauty. This is a liquid lip, and it is in Drew. So when I got this, I actually stated in my unboxing it was a lip gloss because it was so glossy that I stated it was a lip gloss. I did not realize till I was watching other BoxyCharm videos later in the month that it actually was a liquid lip. So it was already separated and nasty by the time I got it. So I'm decluttering, but I'm not counting this against myself in my, you know, money count that I keep every month. It's I've talked about it in other videos, but basically what I do is I total up everything I've used and then I count everything I've spent, unless it's something strictly for the channel. Like an example is my mystery boxes or my beauty boxes. I don't count those against my budget because they are for my YouTube channel. But if there's like a new release, or like this right here, this was not needed for my channel when I purchased it, so that counts against for my no buy spending. So this one I'm not counting against myself, but I am getting rid of it. There's no reason to keep an expired product just because I paid for the box, which I think goes without saying. So this is a Rimmel lip liner. This is in, what is the, Enchantment. So this is one I like low-key loved this. I did not realize Rimmel had such amazing lip liners. I've probably had this for a year or two, maybe even 2 to 3. And once I started using it, I didn't use any other lip liner until it was gone. So I definitely want to praise that one. Another one I finished completely is the Watermelon Glow. I received this in BoxyCharm. It does expire relatively fast. Like if you watch other videos, people talk about that when they let it sit in their collection, it changed colors, changed scent, and everything else. So I did put this as a priority. I used only this setting spray until it was gone. So that is why I finished it so fast. At least for me, that was fast. And I would say if you like watermelon, it's great. There's probably some drugstore that are the same. Like I think the Morphe setting spray is probably the same and a lot cheaper. But I do think this worked fantastic, and I actually think that it was a situation where I don't like watermelon scent, but if I did, I probably would pay for this again. Next, I have the Maybelline. This is the Age Rewind Concealer. It is label peeled because it was in my Graveyard Project pan, and I will be posting this in that as well. I did finish this. I did move in another concealer. I think I moved in my MAC Pro Long Wearing or whatever that one's called. So, because I'm trying to do my oldest items in my stuff. So that is used as well. So that is all of my makeup that I used up. Okay, next is my Alley Vitamins. I recently did, and I will link it up in the cards, an Alley Vitamin review, and some of these I've determined I'm not going to buy anymore, and some I already repurchased, so I did want to state that. For the ones I already repurchased, first one is the Woman's Multivitamin, and I did state in that video that I absolutely love it. It is amazing, and it's something that I probably will continue to repurchase. It doesn't upset my stomach, and I do have stomach issues, so that was really important to me. The other one I repurchased is the Undeniable Beauty. This is their hair, skin, and beauty vitamins. This one I will continue to repurchase. It is absolutely stunning the way that my hair has responded to this, and my hair, I'm having less hair loss. I'm having like my lupus hair loss, not normal, you know, shedding. And I'm having really rapid regrowth, so I probably will purchase this continuously as well. The only other one I have repurchased so far, or honestly right now probably plan to repurchase, is the skin brightening. I have noticed a big difference in my skin. I don't know if brightening is the term I would use for it. I think it's more of it's healthy. I did 3 things altogether about my skin. Is one, I've been meticulous about my skincare. I've been pretty good about skincare for the last 2 years, maybe a year especially, but I've just been meticulous about paying attention to what I'm putting on my skin, paying attention to which serums I use on which nights, things like that. So I think there's more than just this at play there. The other thing I've been doing is I've been drinking water more. And then lastly, I've been taking these. And I think those 3 things my skin love. My skin is reacting really amazing, and I'm really happy with it. So one I know I'm never going to repurchase again is this Glowing Skin. So this has hyaluronic acid, collagen, and C blackthorn. And this is literally slimy when you pull it out. Like all the other ones are gummies, but they're not like slimy. And this just really messed with me as far as the slime factor. But I also didn't notice any difference because I've taken this one for 2 months and my skin didn't improve for the second month while I was taking this. So I definitely think that that's it for that. Another ones I'm not repurchasing, and as you see, I gave it a good heave-ho before I changed it. So this is actually a purifying vitamin. It's made to help with acne and things like that, which I don't typically suffer from, but I was hoping with the antioxidants and minerals it would just help my skin be healthier. Again, I've taken them and I don't see any difference other than what I was seeing from already taking this. These weren't taken together. And so I think that that other one is for me. I did take this, did overlap with both of these. Lastly, the only one I'm not going to repurchase again is the Daily Energy, and that was purely for the fact I noticed zero difference. I tried these in the morning and I didn't notice any difference, so I actually tried them at bedtime just to see what they did, and I slept very well. So I just honestly think these are a waste of money, and I am going to put these in my update video for the Ali vitamins when I do one at 30 or 60 days, but I kind of just want to put my empties in here so you can see how many I'm using as I do this test. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is disposable products. I don't put everything in here, but this month I did because I wanted to make an example of something. So this is Botanical Mask Pack by Bonavant. I like this. I thought it worked really well. It was kind of an unusual feeling one, but my skin was really moisturized after. So if you happen to have these in your collection or come across them on sale, I think they'd be a great deal. And then makeup wipes, I kind of want to show something. So I normally don't buy makeup wipes, but I've actually had quite a few in my collection. If I'm not getting the mystery boxes, like in regards to the offer I received in my mystery box, but I typically do like when there's sales, I get them for swatching or for when I have a lupus flare-up. When I have a lupus flare-up, it's very difficult to do everything normal. So like normally I stand at the sink and wash my face, or I do it in my shower or whatever. And when I have a lupus flare-up, it's very difficult to walk or move. And so I typically just wash my face with wipes in bed or whatever when I'm at my worst. So these are ones. So I kind of wanted to comment on these. If you have sensitive skin, this may particularly pertain to you. So these don't burn my skin necessarily, but I can feel it. My skin feels drier. My skin feels different. They do make a sensitive version. If I need to repurchase in the future, I will probably purchase the sensitive ones, but it does take me quite a bit to go through a pack of wipes normally. These all were in June, and I'll explain why. So it takes me probably 8 weeks to 12 weeks to go through a pack of wipes when I'm using them exclusively just for swatches. However, I did a lot of swatch videos, not swatch, but unboxings in June where I needed to wipe my hand off, so I was wiping swatches off. And then also I did have 2 flare-ups that were pretty unfriendly. So I did use these. So these, I'm going to switch to the sensitive if I do need to repurchase. However, more than likely, if I have to repurchase, I will be repurchasing these. So this is the number 7 Radiant Result Wipes, and it says Revitalizing Cleansing Wipes, Radiant and Healthier Looking Skin, Suitable for Sensitive Skin. And I would say that is 100% true. So these come with 30 wipes in a bag. What does the other one come with? 25. And I believe these are cheaper as well, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe the same price. But these, they honestly clean my skin really well. Like way better than any wipe I've ever used before, and my skin does not burn or react at all. So I more than likely, as long as they're in stock, will purchase these versus any others when I need to. So let's talk about face wash. And I'm going to put my cleansing balms and my face wash all together. I just think they're in the same category. So first one I finished is this Fresh Soy that I received in BoxyCharm. And I have a backup for this I purchased from the pop-up. I love this. I think it works absolutely fantastic. I actually hated this the first like quarter of the tub because I thought it wouldn't foam, and I personally, whether people like it for themselves or not, I need a foaming face wash. I feel like my face is not clean if it doesn't foam. And what it was is it's a low foam. You actually have to like really scrub it to get it to foam, and my skin, once I started doing that, was so much cleaner and I was so much happier. Another one I finished is the Estee Lauder Take the Day or Take It Away. Take the Day Off is not Estee Lauder, that's Clinique. But this one I received in like a Clinique gift pack when I purchased something, and it worked good, but it had a lot of perfume, which just messed with my asthma. Back to scents again. This is the Elemis cleansing balm. This is the original. This smells like an essential oil or something similar. It works fantastic, but they don't have an unscented. They have this one which smells like eucalyptus, or oh, it's lavender. We figured it out. It's lavender. It smells of like you put lavender oil on your face, like pure lavender oil. This one smells like lavender oil, and the other one is rose, which is also very strong. So although it works well, I will never repurchase that again. Next is the Ulta. This is the cleansing balm. I absolutely hated this one. It took everything I could to go through it. I mean, granted, because of my video on cleansing balms, I was trying to go through them, but it's disgusting. You have to like manipulate it, and then it doesn't completely melt when you actually rub your hands together. And it has like these beads in it because it doesn't melt all the way. So it's just gross, and I will not be repurchasing that one. This one I probably would not repurchase unless like some of my favorites were out of stock or it was just a deal I couldn't pass up. This one worked good, but it has a lot of trouble melting. Like it didn't melt unless I like rubbed it in my hands forever, and even then there'd be like huge chunks that wouldn't melt, and it would be on my face or fall or whatever. So it just was hard to work with and manipulate, but it did clean my makeup off fantastic, and it does smell really good. It's like berry scented. I do have one nail item in here, so I'll just throw that in real quick. This is Sally Hansen cuticle oil, vitamin E, and I believe this also has almond oil in it if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I switched to the solar oil. I actually prefer that. So if we look at masks, I actually have two. One is a declutter and one is finished completely. One is the Lift Off Mask by Wander. I will not repurchase this. There's nothing wrong with the mask probably, but my skin just does not like these peel offs. This one literally made it burn and I got hives. This is the Ofra Froze, and this one worked well and I used it fine, but when I peel it off it makes my skin sensitive. I did not get hives, I did not get a reaction from this one, but I just noticed that like just even touching my skin later, my skin was reacting to the peel off portion. So I'm not going to buy these, and if I get them in boxes I will be decluttering. So one setting spray, this is the Mario Badescu, and this is the lavender and cameo. I will not repurchase this one in this scent. I like putting these in the fridge so that I can have them cool in the summer especially. However, the only one that I think really doesn't mess with my asthma or anything as far as the scents is the herb one. And I have so many sprays, there's just not a reason for me to repurchase one right now. So serums, I have quite a few. All of these, I believe, were open prior to June, and I just finished them in June. So for the Ordinary, I have the Buffet, and I have the Caffeine Solution 5% EGCG. These are both my holy grails. This is an under eye treatment, and I actually use it on my forehead as well, and I've noticed that my forehead crater wrinkles are getting smaller. And then this is got peptides and some other things for anti-aging. I actually just upgraded to the 2-ounce size of this because I think that it's just pointless to pay that and not do the bigger size for the amount you save. And I had a coupon, so that helped. So these are definitely holy grails. I have already repurchased these, one in the 2-ounce, one in the only size it comes in, and I'm sure you'll see these in more empties eventually. Next, I have the Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair. I have talked about this before. I actually purchase these every year when they're on sale, buy 3 get 1 free or buy 2 get 1 free at Ulta. They do it pretty regularly, and when you account for the price per ounce, it's actually cheaper than buying the full size. And then if I have a choice, if these come up in Sephora, little, you know, $100 points or anything like that, or Ulta has a free gift pack, I always do these. So this is one that I don't use every night anymore just because I've really gotten a lot of the ordinaries, and I'm also using a lot of chemical exfoliants, so like lactic acid and retinol, and I'm also using niacinamide to help prevent things, and niacinamide is also good for closing pores and things like that. So using those 3 doesn't leave a lot for this, especially with the 2 chemical exfoliants. I can use this when I use the niacinamide, but it just works really good, and I noticed a big difference in my skin as far as moisture barrier when I was using this. So definitely I have a ton of these in my collection and we'll keep using them. This one is the Peach and Lily Glass Skin Finishing Serum, or excuse me, Glass Skin Refining Serum. I actually purchased it at Ulta when I had a coupon for 20% off. And I actually love this. I'm getting the full size, I believe is in our Allure this month, and I'm really excited because this is one that I actually use the night before or right before makeup, but not every day. And it made a big difference on how my foundation sat on my skin, so I was really happy with that. And then lastly is the Tarte Mermaid Skin. I believe I got this in one of my custom boxes last fall, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So this is one that I've used quite a few times. It's just a hyaluronic acid serum, and it works fine. Now, I just will say, I think it works great, but with hyaluronic acid serums being at the Ordinary and some really cheap ones, I just think there's no reason to purchase these high-end ones when the Ordinary has them all. My last 2 empties, one is the Dr. Botanicals Moroccan Rose Superfood Face Oil. I actually received this, I think, in my very first Ipsy Plus, and I kept using it and putting it away, and using it and putting it away, and using it and putting it away. And I ended up upgrading to the full size. This is like a ½ ounce, and there's actually a 1 ounce size, and I really like it. The scent is something that does not bother me at all. Like, it smells good, so that's one that I really love. And then lastly is the Bite Beauty Agave mask. So this is the actual like potted mask they sell. This is, I think, the older version. I do believe it was just reformulated. I already repurchased this. It is something I love. I personally like it when I'm dehydrated. Even when I'm rehydrating, it takes my lips quite a while to actually catch up. So this is one that I love. So that is my empties for June 2020. If you like empties videos, I hope you will like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and I hope I see you again soon.